Welcome back. News from the international front. Pakistan has rejected any insinuation of the involvement of any state agency in the Mumbai attacks, which killed 166 people in 2008. Pakistan's Foreign Secretary Jalil Abbas Jilani said that Pakistan is even willing to offer a joint investigation into the statements made by Abu Jindal, the terrorist who played a key role in the attacks. Jindal has said that he and 5 other handlers instructed and coordinated the 10 terrorists on the ground in Mumbai, supervised by officers from Pakistani's military agency.
Foreign Secretary Jilani and I discussed all issues that impact peace and security between our two countries, including terrorism. I emphasized that terrorism is the biggest threat to peace and security in the region, and that bringing the guilty to justice in the Mumbai terror attacks would be the biggest confidence-building measure of all. During the Home Secretary level talks in May 2012 in Islamabad, extensive information on the perpetrators of 26/11 has been provided to the Pakistani side. The arrest and the ongoing interrogation of Abu Jindal has now added urgency to this matter. I did take up the issue with Foreign Secretary Jilani, and I have shared information with him. As you are aware, the investigation is underway, and we will continue to pursue this matter with determination to its logical conclusion.
मैं ये भी कहूँगा कि हम अगर एक दूसरे के खिलाफ इस तरीके से इल्ज़ाम तराशी करेंगे तो उसका भी कोई फ़ायदा नहीं होगा और हम किसी नतीजे पे शायद न पहुँच सकें. Having said that, let me say that the issue was extensively discussed between myself and my very dear colleague, Mr. Ranjan Mathai. And I assured him that the entire evidence, whatever evidence that India has, it should be shared with us, and we will investigate this matter. We will even be willing to offer joint investigation into the whole affair. I would very strongly reject any insinuation of any involvement of any state agency in acts of terrorism in India. Having said that, I would say that we have over the years improved our level of cooperation, and in case there are certain gaps that needs to be filled, I think we should fill those gaps in a spirit of cooperation. And that is the only way that we can move forward on this very, very important issue.
Even as Pakistan denies the role of the state in the 26/11 attacks and says the blame game will not help, NDTV has access to documents showing Jindal was issued identity papers by Pakistan, a national identity card for overseas Pakistanis and one for internal use as well. Jindal, during his interrogation, revealed the name of one Major Samir, who he says came to the control room when the attack was going on. The Major came and met LET Commander Lakvi and gave him instructions, and soon after the attacks were over, all of them were asked to disperse. After international pressure on Pakistan following the attacks, Pakistan's National Investigation Agency raided the control room and destroyed it. David Headley had also mentioned Major Samir's name in his testimony. A Delhi High Court today extended the custody of the plotter Abu Jindal with the Special Cell of Delhi Police for 15 more days. Chief Metropolitan Magistrate Vinod Yadav allowed the Specialized Anti-Terror Unit of the Delhi Police to interrogate him till the 20th of July. The court said it found merit in the submission of the Delhi Police for seeking Jindal's custody for interrogation.
मेरा आर्गुमेंट ये था कि स्पेशल कोर्ट एनआईए का प्रोटेक्शन वारंट है, आप उसको कल वहाँ भेज दें, लेकिन इन्होंने 15 दिन के लिए स्पेशल सेल को दे दिया, स्पेशल सेल को रिमांड पर पुलिस कस्टडी रिमांड के लिए कहा कि जो स्पेशल सेल की जांच होगी उससे आपकी एजेंसी को भी मदद मिलेगी और 15 दिन के लिए स्पेशल कोर्ट को दे दिया.
Moving on, External Affairs Minister S.M. Krishna will undertake his much anticipated visit to Pakistan in the first half of September. Krishna had to defer his July 18th and 19th visit to Pakistan to review the peace talks due to the presidential elections scheduled around the same time. The minister said that the External Affairs Ministry officials were in touch with their counterparts in Pakistan and that the issue was also discussed during the bilateral talks Foreign Secretary Ranjan Matai had with his counterpart Jalil Abbas Jilani.
It's for certain that I will be traveling to Islamabad. Now, there is a little, some problem with reference to the dates. We had agreed upon the 19th of July for me to travel to Islamabad, but at that point of time, we didn't realize that the presidential election was due to take place. Our foreign secretaries have met, and between them they will be finalizing the dates. And now we are looking for somewhere in the first half of September for me to visit Islamabad before the United Nations General Assembly.
On to the race to the Rasina Hill, opposition-backed presidential candidate P.A. Sangma stated that his legal team is going through the returning officer's ruling in the Pranab Mukherjee's Office of Profit case, and that he would decide the future course of action after consulting his colleagues and supporters. The former Lok Sabha Speaker said he received a certified copy of the ruling of the returning officer last night and had gone through it. Meanwhile, presidential nominee of India's ruling UPA, Pranab Mukherjee, refused to comment on the main opposition BJP's threat to move to the court against his candidature. BJP has claimed that Mukherjee's resignation letter as chairman of the Indian Statistical Institute in Kolkata was fabricated and that his nomination should be cancelled as he holds an office of profit. However, returning officer for the presidential election V.K. Agnihotri rejected BJP contention and accepted his nomination papers.
Look, I would not like to comment on these issues. It is for them to do whatever they like.
Apparently, in a bid to bring Trinamool Congress, a key UPA ally, on board on the presidential poll issue, Congress leader and Union Minister Kapil Sibal met the party chief Mamata Banerjee. He, however, evaded questions on whether the presidential elections were discussed in the meeting, which took place for over an hour. AICC General Secretary in charge of West Bengal, Shakil Ahmed, had yesterday renewed the appeal to the Trinamool Congress to support the candidature of UPA nominee Pranab Mukherjee. Banerjee had earlier said that a final decision on the elections would be taken 3 days before the polling date on the 19th of July. Moving on, will the BJP let go of Sadanand Gowda to bring in Yediyurappa's man Jagadish Shettar as Chief Minister of Karnataka? After the party managed to convince the rebel ministers to withdraw resignations, it seems that a decision will be taken in their favour soon, according to sources. Yediyurappa, the former Chief Minister, has been demanding that Jagadish Shettar, a leader from his Lingayat community, be appointed for the top job. Meanwhile, Shettar, currently the Revenue Minister in the state, is back from Delhi and says he is waiting for a decision from the High Command. The BJP seems to have given in to the demand of former Karnataka Chief Minister Yediyurappa and his loyalists to remove the present Chief Minister. Sources have told NDTV that BJP is ready with the overhauled blueprint by which Sadanand Gowda will be replaced by Jagadish Shettar.
We discussed regarding political situation and the leadership issue with the High Command, and I think High Command will take appropriate decision within shortest period. That is within 3-4 days or within week, they will take whatever the High Command takes decision regarding leadership, regarding political situation in Karnataka. It is abide by us.
Here's a quick look at the profile of Jagadish Shettar, the Revenue Minister in Karnataka now, from Hubli to North Karnataka. Belongs to Lingayat community, which has a huge vote share. Anand Kumar Camp wanted him to be the Chief Minister earlier. Shettar seen as rubber stamp of Yediyurappa. 13 MLAs from Dharwad region opposing Shettar as Chief Minister. In a brutal scene, a student from the African country of Burundi has been in coma for nearly 3 months after he was beaten up and left to die in Patiala. The student suffered severe brain damage from the attack. He was on a ventilator for some time but has now been taken off it. The reason for the attack is still not known, though 2 people have been arrested by the Jalandhar police. The victim's father claims that he wrote to Punjab Chief Minister Parkar Singh Badal twice for help but got no reply. Onto a crime scene from Mumbai. Pakistani origin Bollywood starlet Laila Khan, who had been missing since last 11 months, was murdered along with her family members in Maharashtra last year. The main accused, Parvez Iqbal Tak, who is also a family friend, told interrogators that they were killed by gunshots, which also included Mumbai police team of crime branch. However, it was difficult to arrive at a conclusion as the bodies were yet to be found. According to complaint, Laila, along with 6 other family members, including her mother, elder sister, 2 siblings and a relative, were allegedly kidnapped by the 2 accused in February last from her flat in suburban Oshiwara. Moving on, Manish Sisodia, aide of veteran anti-graft crusader Anna Hazare, has said that the scheduled protest would be held despite the denial of permission to fast at Jantar Mantar by Delhi police. He said that the police offered mutual arrangement to Hazare's team, and details of which could be worked out.
This is surprising that Delhi police is saying no, we can't do protest. That's ironical because we have been agitating against allegation of corruption against 15 ministers, and Mr. Chidambaram is one of them. This is surprising that the Delhi police that reports to Mr. Chidambaram is saying no, you can't protest. So the protest will go on. 25th July is still on, and we will go on fast on 25th July. That Delhi police or corrupt ministers or other government can't stop this. उन्होंने पुलिस ने एक लेटर में एक वाक्य लिखा है अंत में कि म्यूचुअल अरेंजमेंट करने के लिए हमसे बात कर सकते हैं, तो हम एक बार और बात करेंगे उनसे कि उनके हिसाब से म्यूचुअल अरेंजमेंट का क्या मतलब है, और उसके बाद फिर देखते हैं. लेकिन अनशन तो होगा, अनशन नहीं रोक सकते वो. और जैसा अगस्त में भी हमने कहा था कि इसके लिए चाहे जेल जाना पड़े, आप हमें डंडे के बल पे सरकार के साथ सहमत नहीं कर सकते.
It's another short break for now. We'll be right back.